Okay. All right. I think I'm live here. All right. Hey guys, Megan Wood here. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, that you had an awesome holiday with friends, family, whatever you were doing. Colin and I, we had a really fun time. So we had some friends over and it was really good. So, anyway, but we are now moving into 2020, which I think is super exciting. Love to hear it in the comments if you guys are super excited for 2020 as well. It's kind of crazy how fast the new year came. And it's kind of crazy that it's already past Christmas. Like, we kind of sped through the holidays. But anyway, so I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to share with you guys 5 tips for essentially kickstarting your physical health, your mental health, all that good stuff for the new year that's coming upon us in just a couple days. And I wanted to talk about this because I've been talking to a lot of different people lately who, they felt stressed over the holidays. There was kind of a lot of overwhelm. And, not even just that though. I've also talked to a lot of people on the flip side who are also really excited for 2020 and want to feel their best. And so, whether you are stressed out from the holidays or if you're just really looking forward to 2020 and wanting to start off in the best way, then stick on here with me and we can talk about, and I'll share with you my 5 tips for how to feel better and how to really strengthen your mental health, your resilience, your clarity, all that, and also as well as your physical health, including metabolism and things like that. So stick with me and let's dive in. So, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm obsessed with gut health, and you know that I love health, all that, and I love mental wellness. I love feeling really good. And so these tips are definitely going to be touching on those topics. And I talk about gut health a lot because it is so important. It has a huge effect on the way that we feel, not just for digestive purposes, but very much how we feel in our head. So it has a huge effect on our emotions, the way that we feel. It can be a major game changer for our mental wellness, and so that's why I talk about it a lot. So with that, and I want to share this with you because I know that, earlier this year and actually a few years ago when I first started learning about gut health, I had no idea. I had no idea what effect it could have on our mental state and on our kind of our functioning as a whole. And so I hope that this will help some of you and maybe give you some ideas that you didn't have before. So, the first tip that I want to share with you guys is going to be about your gut. And the first tip I have for you is to do an overhaul. We're going to kind of overhaul the gut microbiome. So just as a little introduction about your gut microbiome. So there are about, 100 trillion gut bacteria. There are 100 trillion bacteria in your gut. And they have a huge effect. And so you can imagine that when those 100 trillion bacteria are out of whack, you get something called dysbiosis. And it can have a huge effect on the way that you feel. And so your gut microbiome is actually more diverse than the Amazon rainforest, which I find crazy. And it does have a huge effect, not just on the way that we digest things, but if you can kind of go further than that and see that, well, if your digestion's out of whack, then your body's not properly absorbing nutrients. So then that's going to have other further cascading effects in your body. So the first tip is to overhaul your gut microbiome. And there are definitely ways to do that. And so tip number 1 is gut overhaul. So we got to overhaul that gut microbiome, clean out the bad bacteria so that we can make way for step number 2, which is going to be to rebuild your gut microbiome. And so step number 2 is all about putting in the good bacteria. So we're going to use things that are rich in probiotics. So you might use a supplement there, or you might also, definitely foods can help with that. But you're not only going to take probiotics, you're also going to take what are called prebiotics, which are going to feed those probiotics. And then you're also going to take other, vitamin-rich foods and things that are going to help establish a really healthy microbiome and environment for those probiotics. So steps 1 and 2 are all about your gut microbiome. So step 1 is going to be that overhaul phase where we're going to clean out all the crap in there. Think of it as spring cleaning, or I guess a New Year cleaning, whatever you want to, And then step 2 is going to be to rebuild that gut microbiome then with, wonderful probiotics and prebiotics to really build up a good, strong microbiome. And then moving into step 3, we're also still talking about food, but then at this point, you really need to be overhauling your diet. So here's the deal. Once we overhaul our microbiome and rebuild it and strengthen it and make it this really awesome environment, well, we want to be supporting that then with a really strong, clean diet. So there are so many different diets out there, and I'm not going to be talking about any specific one. If you guys do have questions about some good diets, you can definitely reach out to me. But needless to say, you want rich, you want a diet rich in vegetables, like leafy greens. And then you also want lots of, wonderful fruits. And so fruits, vegetables, things like that. So a good plant-based diet is really what we're going for here. Not the only thing in your diet, but that's definitely important. So we want to have a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. So step number 3 is going to be to really overhaul your diet, because if we're going to clean up your gut microbiome, there's no point in doing that if you're not also going to have a really nice, strong diet as well, right? And so again, it's those simple little things that we know we need to be doing that sometimes we're not doing it. So anyway, so that's step number 3. Step number 4, as you can imagine, going along with those different, little things that end up being huge game changers for the way that we think and feel. Step number 4 is going to be all about exercise. So exercise has a huge effect on the way that we think and we feel. Hey, Mike, great to see you on here. Good to see you. I'm going to wave at you. Love this. Okay, anyway, but exercise has a huge effect on the way that we think and we feel, because exercise can also really boost dopamine. It can really help us to, it can help decrease that stress hormone cortisol. And so we do want to be exercising. And so wherever you're starting now, just have a little bit in there, right? So, I mean, if you're not doing any kind of exercise right now, try to get maybe 15, 20 minutes a day. Start somewhere small. But start. That's what's important. And so exercise has a huge effect on our metabolism, the way that we think, the way that we feel. Hey, Rochelle, good to see you on here. I'm going to wave at you too. It's great to see you folks. Anyway, so exercise is majorly important for metabolism, for our mental state, also good for our heart health. I'm not talking about rocking that. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. This is my favorite hats from Hawaii. Anyway, so exercise is important because we have a whole... So I don't want to get too much into it in this video, but we do have 3 different brains. So it's the heart and the gut microbiome, and then also, of course, the brain in our head, right? But anyway, so exercise is going to be very much important for helping to manage stress, for helping to improve metabolism, and then also for helping to regulate basically kind of everything in our body, actually, when you think about it. Hey, Owen, great to see you on here. Anyway, so that's step number 4. And then step number 5, the last one, is going to be all about mindfulness. So taking time to be mindful is actually very important for the way that we feel, for our mental state. So it's not just about what we're taking into our bodies. That's very much important. But we also need to be taking time to, say, meditate, if that resonates with you. Oftentimes I think, if you're a religious person, prayer, prayer I think of as kind of, another form of meditation. But meditation, prayer, taking time for gratitude. Gratitude exercises are also very important. That puts us in a really wonderful, abundant state. Hey, Carolyn, it's great to see you on here. All right, waving at you. Great to see you on here, guys. But taking that time to really be mindful, just to kind of consider, what's going on in life, and to kind of take a step back from it all, and to just kind of take stock of things and see, okay, what's going well, maybe what needs to be improved, things like that. That can really help us to kind of calm down and take a step back from the stresses of life. And so that's a huge game changer too. Now, I said that this video was going to be 5 tips, but I'm actually going to throw in a bonus tip in here too. Your bonus tip for today is also going to be sleep. Sleep is so important. So, I mean, I kind of put it up there with that trifecta. So, we're talking like food, so diet is very much part of that pyramid. And then we also want to put exercise on there, and then sleep is very much on that pyramid too. So, I mean, those are kind of your top 3. However, the others are important too. But sleep is so important, because that really is at the time when our body rests, it repairs, and it optimizes itself. And so we got to make sure that we're doing that. Hey, Mad. Oh my gosh. Ahlan, Isaac. So good to see you on here, man. Anyway, thanks for coming on, folks. But that's your bonus tip for today, is going to be sleep. So make sure that you're getting optimal sleep. For most people, we're talking about 7 to 8 hour range. If you're younger, like for teens, if you guys have, kids, teens, they should be getting a little bit more sleep. Sometimes they're like 8 or 9 hours, which can be difficult, if we're not, for school and, managing schedules. It doesn't matter what age you are, actually. And then as we get older, 7 to 8 hours is pretty optimal. unless you're my husband Colin. He doesn't sleep very much, like maybe 6 hours, and then he's going all day. But anyway, so make sure you're getting proper sleep, because that's going to really help to manage stress levels. That's going to really also help with metabolism, and that's just really gives a whole huge boost, gives your body a chance to rest and repair. So just to review real quick, make sure, so step number 1 was to, we're going to overhaul the gut microbiome, and then we're going to rebuild it. And then step 2, that was steps 1 and 2. 3 is diet. 4 is going to be all about exercise. And then step 5 is going to be mindfulness. And then your bonus tip is sleep. So those are some things that are going to really help you to overcome maybe some of that stress that you got during the holidays, and then also to step really strongly into year 2020 so that you can start off on the best foot. And then if any of this does resonate with you guys today, I do want to let you know that starting January 6th, I am going to be having a 60-day challenge. So that me and the group that I work with, we are going to be hosting a 60-day challenge for 2020 to help everybody get started on the right foot. And so if you are interested in that, it is going to include some products. It's going to include coaching. It's going to include, weekly calls, things like that, accountability and all that, to help us really establish those strong habits for 2020. So if that is something that resonates with you and sounds like a lot of fun that you'd like to be part of, go ahead and drop a comment here, get in touch with me personally, however you want to do it, and I can add you to our group and we can get you started for 2020. But I appreciate you guys coming on here. Vanjie, it's so good to see you too. Waving at you. Anyway, great to see you guys, and I hope that you guys had a wonderful holiday, and I wish you guys all the success in the world for the year 2020 coming in. I don't know, I think the New Year time is almost one of my favorite times, kind of that, that bridge time when you're just ending the last year and coming into the new year. It's such an exciting time. It's a chance to start things fresh and to keep going, make things even better, because they can always get better. So anyway, let me know if you guys want to join the challenge, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Have an awesome day.